Good morning, everyone. Beautiful people of the world, all internationally. Surprise. So you get me today. Okay, I give Mr. Thomas a break. I said, look, you've been working way too much. I'll do it for you. I got it covered. Let's let these people in. Good morning. So let's see who we have here. I see Regional Vice President, Miss Jocelyn Driscoll. Good morning, beautiful lady. We have Miss Eileen from San Diego, Mr. Julian Lewis, Regional Director out of San Diego. We have Miss Akiko Kohara, all the way from Japan. Nobody ever knows what time it is there, but just know it's way different than it is here. Yes, Marie, you know, right? Miss Marie from San Diego. We got Mr. Casey Carter. We have Miss Joyce Brewer, Mr. Daryl Ransom, Mr. Ryan Swallow, Mr. Dave Culver, the professor. We have Miss Catherine Williams. Good morning. We have Sensational, always looking sensational. Good morning. We have Miss Caroline Baker. Good morning, beautiful lady. Miss Marcia Carter. Good morning, beautiful lady. Miss Belinda Batiste. I saw you jamming in your car. I like it. I was over here behind the camera dancing with you. Mr. Ishmael, Mr. Payon, Mr. Fetty Sherman, and Mr. Ray Codwell, Mr. Willie Cribb, Mr. Sergio from Mexico. We have Miss Jones from Crew, and we have Regional Director Miss Roxanne Coralejo. We have Mr. Doug Soto on here. We have so many people on here. If I keep doing names, guys, we will be here all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, all right? Now, the special guest speaker for today is one of the most down-to-earth people that I have ever met in my life, let alone an ACN. He's a regional vice president that's built a business globally. He's been recognized in front of tens of thousands of people, and he's been asked by the co-founders to train the company internationally. How cool is that? So just know he's been on international stages and he's here with us today. And he's the most generous and amazing human being that my husband and I have come to love. So please help me introduce Regional Vice President, Mr. Dean Tarrolly, who's also an actor. I can't believe I didn't even say that before.
What's up, Natasha? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, we can.
Awesome. So good morning, everybody. Man, shouldn't everybody be introduced like that every day? Like to your family? Hey, coming into the kitchen right now. You know her, you love her, you've seen her every day. She cleans up your dirty laundry and she does the dishes and she provides for everybody in the household. Welcome, Mom. Okay, anyway. You guys, I'm happy to be here. So Jocelyn, yeah. So you guys, so Natasha, you know, we're going to cover a couple things today, but as I told you guys at the beginning of this month, we're really covering the basics, and doing this call with you guys, you know, month on, month off. I don't know if we've done this. I don't know if this is like the fourth month of me doing leadership trainings with you guys. I realized that there is so much information, how to do this, how to do that, that it can be information overload. And then what people do is they start to try to figure out what is the best way from all these different influences, how to do three really basic, simple things. And Natasha, who is a regional director, I have gotten to know her and her husband, and they're amazing people. And here's the thing. They made a decision to get really good at the basics. See, if you get really good at the basics, you can start to explore these other like little tweaks or little nuances to how to do things. And then what ultimately happens is, you know, you get your own voice, right? So, so like for any of us who are parents, listen to this, you guys, really important. I wasn't even going to train this way, but let me just start with this. So first of all, Natasha, thank you. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all the amazing messages that you send me, and you know, love you guys, and really excited to see you go regional vice president, which is a done deal. I know that's going to happen. So let me just start by saying this. We do three things. Really, that's all we do in ACN. And I said at the beginning of this month, we're going to go into some detail on each one of these. We get customers, we build teams, and we promote events. That's all we do. I went into great detail on acquiring customers the first week of the month, this first call. I went into great detail last week on building a team. So let's start first, customers. Huge favor. Humble yourself, ask them for a favor, share your reason why. There's your customer training. Building a team. The key to building a team is creating curiosity. How do you create curiosity? Don't give them everything. Allow your leader to do that. So in order to be able to build a really good business and to build a successful team, you simply have to get good at getting yourself out of the way and plug them into an overview. There's recruiting. Now I went into more detail last week. If you missed last week, I'm sure they have it recorded or something. So then what's the third part? It is promoting events. So I want you to think about this for a second, you guys. So I'm going to go deep for a quick second. So here goes. For those of us who are parents, and for those of us who had parents, by the way, that includes all of us. So I'll let you guys, I won't wait for you to figure that one out. Here's what I want you to know, because I've never really trained it this way. When we're kids, we rely on our parents or whoever our, guardian is to teach us basic things. We rely on them. We don't even know that we rely on them, but we rely on them to teach us basic things. Our parents, aunt, uncle, grandparents, whoever that person was in your life or those people were in your lives. But eventually what ends up happening? This is important, you guys. What ends up happening? Eventually what happens is we want our children, we want ourselves to get our own what? To get our own voice, to have our own experiences, to have our own, develop our own unique abilities. So here's what's incredibly important about this point, I think. If you master the basics and you can teach the basics, you give someone the best chance to find their voice in ACN. You give someone the best chance to find and fulfill who they are in this business. So let's hang here for a second. Let's hang out in this room with a view for a second. Hang tight. So we as leaders want to find our voice, and we want to help our team do the best, have the best shot at finding their voice. Okay, so now watch this. Let's say we understand that and we embrace that and we get a bunch of egos out of the way, yours and mine. Like you guys, get it out of the way so you can lean on and rely on the system. Because if you're some super duper uber talented, off the charts, network marketing genius, there's a very reasonable chance you're going to be the only one like that on your team. So what we want to do is make sure that there is a platform and a system that anybody can master the basics to find their voice to build something significant in this business. Just show of hands or something. Am I making sense so far or no? Okay, cool. So check this out. We want to get really good at this. We want to build an efficient, effective, producing business. Okay. We want to find our voice to make a mark that impacts ourselves and our families and our team, great. We get customers, we build teams, we promote the events. So here's what I want you to know. If you can master promoting events, you will have, in my opinion, a business that will build. And I'll tell you why. Whether you are actively building ACN or you are sporadically building ACN, either way, and I'm gonna guess that you guys are not sporadically building ACN because you're on a leadership call at 10 minutes after 9. But if you master promoting events, what you're doing is you're letting your team, right? You're letting your team, you're letting your organization, you're letting your group be influenced by other leaders who have found their voice. So, why is that important? It's important because the events, man, the events do so many things. And the events provide an environment to learn. The events provide, here's a big one, an environment to learn, proof that the system works, proof that the business works, proof that people get promoted and paid, proof that people have teams, right? The events eliminate doubt. Now, we're in a spot, right? You and I, Dave, Marie, Joyce, Julian, Daryl, Ryan, Dave, Catherine, I can't name everybody. We're all in the same boat together. So if you can master promoting events, you have a very reasonable chance, not a guarantee, by the way, you have a very reasonable chance to go to the top of the company. If you promote events, but here's the thing about promoting, okay? Promoting, like this comes from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business. If you don't have it, find it and listen to it. I've listened to it over 200 times. That true story, by the way, over 200 times. Promoting pays huge money. What do I mean by that? ACN does not pay us to promote events, by the way. You don't get points, you don't get bonuses, you don't get an extra cab because you have people coming to the events. When the world was open, folks, and this is going to be a bit of a drag for some of you who are newer because you have not had the experience and you have not had the advantage of knowing these big events. So this is why it's going to be a little bit of it's not a tricky topic, but you got to know where we were to know where we're going, right? By the way, that's kind of like life. So the way that the system works, and for those of you who know this, try to be new for a minute. Try not to be bored with this because you already know it. By the way, that's a key part to learning, right? I had a great conversation with one of our business partners who's on the call. His name is Ray, great guy. And, I did a call last week with my executive team leaders and above. And Lakers just won the championship. Kobe Bryant, there was a lot of references to him, arguably one of the greatest ever, him, Michael Jordan, a handful of others. Unbelievable. And he said something. And our president actually quoted him in a leadership, and I wrote it down, and I knew that I would train on it because it made total sense to me. And here's what he said. By the way, can you all hear me okay? Okay, cool. Awesome. Here's what he said. Kobe was asked why he was such a perfectionist, why he pushed himself, how he did it. And here was his exact quote. You ready? You want it? He said, I never get bored with the basics. I never get bored with the basics. See, if you're struggling with the basics of our business, it's very difficult. And by the way, for those of you who've heard me train, everything will come full circle and tied in a bow at the end. But here's the thing. If you never get bored with the basics, you give yourself the best chance to learn this thing so you know it really well, so you can find your voice and be that inspiration, that model, that example for someone who needs to hear from you. And oh, by the way, you're going to build a massive business along the way. It is very difficult to find your voice in this if you're constantly struggling with the basics. So for those of you who have gotten started in ACN, even as long as a year ago, a year and change, you've only had the opportunity to experience one national training event, and that was in Long Beach, California last year. So we do traditionally a national training event once per quarter, 4 times a year, where the world of our company gets together. And what's very interesting about that is where people, the green rotten apple type people, oh, that's where you're going to your hype thing. Is that where you all get all excited? Is that where everybody pumps you up and you're going to go to the top of the company and you're doing great and you're doing great and we're going to learn together and we're going to go do this. And I had somebody say that to me years ago. True story. I was bartending at the time, and this jacket, well, you get it. He said something like what I just said to you. Oh, I get it. You're going to go to the top. You guys are everybody's got each other's back, and you're going to get promoted and you're going to do great things. And I looked at the guy and what he was saying, listening to what he was saying. And I looked at him and I literally did say this. I said, let me ask you a question, brother. He goes, yeah, go ahead. I go, what's wrong with what you just described? What's wrong with it? And here's what he did. Swear to you. He goes, you know what I mean. Not anymore. I really don't. And I found myself not only wanting to be in that environment, but defending that environment. So here's something I want you to think of as we talk about promoting events. I will not sell anyone on being a customer. And I will not sell on anybody into doing the business. I will not sell on any of those things. But if you're choosing to do ACN, or you're even interested in doing ACN, I will sell with everything I have the events. The events is where someone can find the belief that they have a voice here. And here's why. There's too much proof. Now, because we can't be together 4 times a year at a national training, because we can't be, in a lot of places, not even in the same room. Like I know some places are starting to open up. Like I have a couple leaders on this call, phenomenal leaders. They'll be RVPs. Ryan Ruiz, Roxanne Corlejo in San Antonio, and Douglas Soto right behind them, building in Latin America. San Antonio has started to open up a little bit. And in fact, let me see something here. Let me just do something really quick. Hold on one second. I'm going to do something a little off the script here. Let me just see. Let me see. I was going to, I know I have rocks. Hey, Natasha, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And Roxanne, I'm totally throwing you on the spot here, but I think this is important for everybody to hear. Roxanne, you and I have not spoken since you guys did your briefing last night, so I have no idea how it went. I have no idea who was there. It sounds like you guys had people there, which was great. Are you able to tell everyone just what the feeling is like at getting people together in the same room, even though there was like social distancing and everything? Natasha, is it possible for you to unmute or make Roxanne Corlejo a co-host?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. So you guys, let me introduce Roxanne really quickly. See, I like trainings like this. So Roxanne is one of our regional directors, and she's in San Antonio and with Ryan Ruiz and Doug Soto and this great group. And the reason I want you to hear this, you guys, is here's what I believe is going to end up happening. I believe what's going to end up happening is this Zoom and the pandemic and COVID and all this stuff has changed things forever. But I think what's going to happen is because we are in a human contact business, like getting in front of someone, getting over a cup of coffee or getting in a room together, you can kind of, you know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean when I say you can feel someone? Like you can feel their authenticity, their heartbeat. You can start to make a connection. I think what's going to happen is those things are going to be combined. Zoom like this, but then there's going to be meetings in person. And you know what's so crazy is this? You guys remember this? Remember when it was like, oh, Zoom is so great. I never have to get in my car. I can be in my pajama bottoms and a dress shirt on top, and I never have to go anywhere, and I never have to fight any traffic, and it's so great. And that's what everybody said when Zoom started happening like crazy, right? And about 2 months after that, what did everybody say? I miss you guys. I just want to be in the same room with you. I just want to give you a hug. It's like, I mean, give me a break. Like both of those things are very important. So I just want you to hear for a second from Roxanne what it feels like. Hear what I'm saying? What it feels like to get everybody together and to be back in a room together, going over the business, being able to do fist pound and shake hands and do all that kind of stuff. Roxanne, would you tell everybody what it's like in San Antonio now that you guys have kind of opened meetings, and like how many people you guys have had and what it's just been like, kind of like energy-wise, team-wise, belief-wise, just for a quick minute or two?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Tarrolly.
Of course.
He likes to throw us on the spot, so I'm used to it. It is A-okay for Mr. Tarrolly. I'm happy to do this. So getting together is just fantastic. A lot of people kept saying like, yes, I'm dressed from the waist up. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to get up so early, and they really love Zoom. But there's just something about ACN and the community that we have. And that's one thing that we're lacking on Zoom. And so the moment we were able to get together, our room, we average around 20 to 25, and we don't want to go too much over that because of social distancing. And we do have that awkwardness. So sometimes when people come in, are we hugging? Are we handshaking? Are we fist bumping? What's going on? But we just laugh about it. I like that ability because with Red Apple people, they get it. They're like, yes, I'm doing it. Let's go through this, whether they're in a room or over Zoom. Now those green to Red Apple people, they might have to see a couple presentations, get on a Saturday training, and they're in. When it comes to those green Apple people, or even sometimes those at first rotten Apple people, they need to see that community. They need to see that environment. They need to see that energy. And that's what's so great about getting together. And so when we started doing these, we do these every Wednesday. They've just been fantastic. So for some of those green apple people, even those rotten apple people that says, oh, it's network marketing, you get them in a room and they're like, no, this is completely different. But that's really hard to do over Zoom. So to be able to benefit from both of them, because we still do our PBZs, we're still introducing people all over Zoom, but then we have that ability to bring them into that community, to bring them into that environment. Because now still, I know a lot of other places outside of San Antonio are still somewhat halfway quarantined and aren't as open as we are here. Well, those people are thirsty for that community. They really, really want that environment to be a part of something. And I just can't wait till the entire US opens up to have these meetings and I can start plugging in my people that I got from California, Michigan, people that I have grown through this pandemic over Zoom to a meeting and be able to feel that environment and that energy that we do here in San Antonio. It's just nothing short of amazing. Just like my first national, I feel that excited just for a room full of 20 people right now.
That's awesome, Roxanne. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I know I put you on the spot, but I know you're getting used to it. So I guess it's not really on the spot. So, well done. Thanks, Roxanne. So you guys, I want you to hear what I want to go into what she talked about. Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. Check this out. And you guys cannot take notes for a second. Just focus on the camera. Just focus on me for a second. Okay, cool. Check this out. Did Roxanne talk about the products? Did she talk about the comp plan? Did she talk about the gigabytes and the megawatts and the download speeds and the how many gigs of data? She talked about how it felt to be around with people. We are in a people business. The vehicle is all that stuff. The business is what we're doing right now. So when you get a group of people together and you have some common dreams and goals, now possibility starts to come in and you go, oh my God. She was this and he was that and he did this and she was super busy and he had lost his job or he's got 3 jobs and and they still got promoted to regional director. You got to be kidding me. I got to meet this person. So what do you want to do as an up and coming leader, someone who's finding their voice? You want to get good at connecting people. You got to get good at getting people's stories. You want to get their stories down. Why do you want to learn everybody's story? Because you're going to run into a broke bartender like me one day. Dude, I've got to introduce you to Mr. Dean Tarrolly. You're gonna know someone who has the background. You're gonna know someone who runs a salon or who's a hairdresser. I've got to introduce you to Regional Vice President Jocelyn Driscoll. Wait till you meet her. Wait, you run a locksmith business? That's crazy. One of the people that trains me, Roxanne Corleo, she owns a locksmith business 24 hours a day. She's a regional director. She's about to become a regional vice president. You've got to meet her. Now, let's talk about the time we're in right now. Okay? So, with the exception of some places that are starting to open up like San Antonio and some others for in-person meetings, we can't do that. So what do you need to get good at? You guys follow me on this, please. You got to get good at taking that feeling and putting into this medium. You got to get good at taking that feeling and putting it in here. Now, it takes a little work to do it. But notice I didn't say the business, I said the feeling. That the business will take care of itself. Here's how I know this to be true. Have you guys ever either been a part of a meeting, done a meeting, witnessed a meeting, or maybe for yourself, somebody explained something to you, maybe it was ACN, and you're kind of like this, you know, I don't really get it, but I think I want to do it because this is like really fun and you guys are really cool. That's the environment taking over. People are afraid not to be a part of it, or they want to be a part of it just because of how they feel. Now, the skeptical person who hears what I just said, or maybe that's one of you on the call, it doesn't matter to me, I don't really care. You would say this, you'd be like, oh, this is because it's all hype. It's all feeling. Really? Let me tell you guys something. That is a tremendously important piece of information in terms of events and how to promote events. And I'm going to tell you why. You know where there's not a lot of hype? You know where there's not a lot of excitement? Can I tell you guys, can I let you guys all know where there's not a lot of hype and not a lot of excitement? Would you like to know? In traffic on the way to your job, there's not a lot of hype. In traffic on the way to see your boss, there's not a lot of hype. Dude, I'm so excited to meet Mr. Smith in his office. I can't even see straight. That doesn't happen. Hey, honey, hope you have a good day. Yeah, I know. I got to go see Mr. Smith. He wants to talk about something with the project and the gigabytes and the megawatts, and now something I got to redo a Excel spreadsheet for some you know, right? By the way, is there anybody on this call that I just frightened that could be life? Now, I'm not saying you should be upset if that's your life. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I'd be willing to bet that you have dreams and goals that go beyond that. Would you guys agree with that? Awesome. So now check this out. And by the way, for the record, if you love being an employee and if you love gigabytes and megawatts and all that stuff, I will be the very first person to cheer you on. If you found your thing and that's your voice and that's your calling, phenomenal. I just know for a lot of people, it may not be. And that's okay. They're all great. Now check this out. So events train you and build belief. That's what happens. We don't have the luxury, and I do mean the luxury, of being able to get together, whether it's a big regional event, 300, 400, 500 people in a region or a national. But what we do have is the ability to use this medium until the world opens up again. I know a bunch of us are going to be at a leadership training in Lake Tahoe because Nevada has now opened up and you can do meetings of up to 250 people. I'm going to be doing with Mike Basutti here in a few weeks. So check this out. We're excited about that. It's going to be exciting to see everybody, right? Get trained up and kind of try to find some sort of sense of normalcy again. But I want you guys to think about this. What's our job as leaders? We have to take that feeling and put it in here. How do you do that? You do it by using the edified expert that you're working with. Please write this down. Okay? If you've heard me say this before, then you're writing it again. That's okay. Amateurs promote a business. Professionals promote a person. You want to promote a person, right? I know Jocelyn has done calls on this in this format for you guys, and so what I would do is, and I just picked her. She's a great friend. She's a regional vice president, phenomenal trainer, amazing example. So what you do is you get great at promoting her. What is she going to train on? I don't know. That's why I want to be on. We got to be on. I'm not going to miss that. I'm not going to miss. She's going to be giving us information on how to build our businesses from home using this. Like, I'm not missing this, dude. We got to be on this. Oh my God, you've got to. I mean, all right. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. I know, me too. See, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you're too cool to promote that way, you're going to have a challenge. Like you guys, could you imagine if I told you that there's this, just watch this, watch me for a second. Man, there's this amazing business and there's this amazing lady and she's going to be doing this training and her name is Jocelyn Driscoll and she's really awesome and you should be on it. You'd be like, yeah, Belinda's already shaking her head. She's like, you just put me to sleep, right? So I'm not asking you guys to become like Carrot Top or freak your friends and family out. But what I'm saying is that people in promoting anything, there has to be a level of excitement and enthusiasm. And if there's not, they're not going to feel it. Who remembers Don King or knows who Don King is? Don King was one of the master promoters of all time. Don King was a boxing promoter. And Don King could get you to rearrange your life to not miss a fight. Don King would create new words in a press conference. Like, he'd be fantabulous. It's going to be the most, you will be the laughingstock of your family. You will be the laughingstock of your street. You will be the laughingstock of your neighborhood. You will be the laughingstock of your city if you are the only one who misses this fight. I may not sleep until the fight's done. Like, he would say stuff that, and you'd be like, oh my God, honey, get the pay-per-view. We got to see this. Right? And one of the main guys that he used to promote Mike Tyson back in the day. And anybody who ever saw Mike Tyson back in the day, guess what? You didn't want to miss it. And if you blinked, the guy might have been knocked out. So check this out. How does this all come full circle to promoting events? What is an event in our business? An event, yeah, Sergio said it, or he pointed. An event is really anything that can advance and share the opportunity. What's the best way to present, and what's the best way to explain? What are the they call it the stair steps of events? Okay. Well, the first event that there is in a presentation setting would be a 2-on-1. That's you, your expert, and your guest. Did one yesterday for one of my business partners, Bill Dawson. I was in Ventura dealing with some other stuff, but I went out into my business partner's patio, sat on his desk, or sat at his outdoor like little area, popped up my computer, and we're presenting. One of the great things about Zoom is you can present anywhere, anytime, to anyone, any place in the world. I mean, Kiko's, I don't know what time it is over there. It's something o'clock, but it ain't like it is here. So first one is a 2-on-1. Second one is obviously a PBZ or a PBR. Private business reception, private business Zoom. Put a little star next to that. I'm going to tell you why. It's the most effective, efficient, duplicatable way to explain this business to people. You guys, please remember this. Here's the events. At every opportunity, build group by group instead of one by one. But if you have to do it one by one, guess what? Make them short, make them sweet, make the presentation quick. That is an event. Just remember, you guys, you're in the exposure business. You're not in the getting people to sign up business. Too much pressure to do that. Just explain it. They get it, they don't, they want more information, they don't, whatever, that's up to you. Make sense so far? Show of hands. Good. Okay, cool. After a 2-on-1, what would be the next event? The next event would be a weekly exposure. We call it a BOM, a business opportunity meeting. So it goes 2-on-1, PBR, which is the most important, and then the next one is a BOM. So the BOM, so you guys, we have, between Al's team, my team, other teams that are represented on this call, other leaders on this call, there are daily business overviews to see a bigger picture. So someone goes, now watch this, you guys. I'm telling you, it's all gonna come around. Why would we do a 2-on-1 with someone and then promote a weekly business opportunity meeting? Why would, because they're both on Zoom, because the person comes in who sees it a 2-on-1, now they come to a Zoom and they see 78 people. That's the equivalent of walking into a regional or a briefing or a Saturday training. That's the equivalent of walking around and go, oh my God, this is great. I'm not the only one. There's other people. And now you have testimonies that back up and verify what you were saying about the type of people that are involved. And now their skepticism goes down, their level of belief and excitement starts to go up. That's why you promote that way. And now someone sees a briefing, like I know that Natasha, I don't know when you and Al do your next briefing. I'm doing a briefing tonight at 6 p.m. That I do every Thursday. You guys do one as well. Okay, great. Julian, I'm sure you have them going on as well. So now you've had someone to a 2-on-1, or they've come to a private business Zoom where there's a group of people, you, your leader, and 5, 6, 7 guests. So the people that aren't interested, great, no problem. Let's get you as a customer. The people that aren't interested, let's get you more information or get you started. What's that more information? You know, we're doing a bigger picture. We're doing a bigger overview. The 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 people would love to have you see it a second time. You'll get your questions answered. Would you be open to that for 30 minutes? Okay, so then you invite them to the briefing where they see a screen just like we're looking at right now. Okay? What's the next event after that? Saturday training. Saturday training. Mark this down. Write this down. Saturday training is your report card. Saturday training is your report card. Saturday training is your report card. What is your report card of? What did you do this week? If there's no one, if you have no one on your team and you have no new people, you have no second exposures, you have no, then you didn't do much this week. Now, are you fired from ACN? Of course not. But you probably didn't have a very productive ACN week. Let's say you have 5 new people on Saturday training. You probably had a very productive week. Let me ask you all a question. As up-and-coming leaders, if you have 5 new people on a Saturday training, do you think someone's getting started? Yeah, I think someone's getting started. If you have 5 new people on a Saturday training, guess what? I think someone's getting started. Maybe all 5, maybe 1, but someone's getting started. That's a great week. And then after the Saturday training, there's leadership trainings, and then there's the national. Well, we know that the national training, we're all hoping that the world's going to open up in 2021. There's some indications that it might, who knows. But our next national training will be in December over Zoom. And you know what, you guys, the company did a phenomenal job putting on the last national training. They did the very best that they can given the circumstances that we're in, and how they started to get everybody emotionally tied and connected and excited again while giving training on how to do this was absolutely awesome. So if you want to understand promoting events is really promoting the people. It's promoting the persons that are going to be speaking, training. So if you want to know really how to promote the event, stop promoting how great the business is. You can say, look, it is a phenomenal business, but wait till you meet Marie Belena. Wait till you meet Joyce Brewer. Wait till you meet Sensational Sharian. Wait till you meet Magley. Wait till you meet Casey. Wait till you meet Caroline. Wait till you meet Belinda. Wait till you meet Heather. Oh my God. Wait till you meet her. She's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. That's promoting the events. And here's the thing. When you're new, be new. You got to take a leap of faith. By the way, you have to take a leap of faith in anything you do when you're new. If you're going to start working out with a trainer, you have to take a leap of faith that the trainer is going to help you get where you want to go. So here you have to do a little bit of the same thing. actually have to do a lot of the same thing, but that's okay. That takes the pressure off of you and puts it onto us. So what I'm at, you know, kind of the theme of this whole month for Al was this. Stop overthinking this, you guys. Now it's 9:40. I can wrap it up now, or I can give you guys a few more minutes. You tell me. Keep going. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. We get customers, we build teams, and we promote the events. And we let the events do the work for us. Does that mean you don't have a responsibility in this? Absolutely not. You know, I had a conversation with someone about, and I know all the ladies on this call are going to be like, oh, thank God someone actually said it. Sorry guys, but it is what it is. It really is just is what it is. So all the women are going to be, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to get on your good side, but maybe a little bit. All right, here, Heather's cracking up. Here's what it is. Julian's like, uh-oh, what's coming? Here's what it is. And this really is for everybody, but there's a little bit of a joke in the male-female part of this. Here's what it is. There is an enormous difference. In fact, I want everybody to stop what you're doing to the degree that you can. I want you to hear this. Even if you're looking at another computer or whatever, just give me 10 seconds. And I know, Casey, I'm calling you out, but it's all good because, you know, you're cool. All right. Thanks, brother. I know. I appreciate it. So check this out, you guys. This is so important. Please hear me on this. There is a massive difference, in my opinion, between hearing and listening. You can hear us train this stuff week over week, month over month, year over year. You can hear it, but until you listen, it will never take hold. It will never take root. You could do ACN for years, and never advance your business because you're repeating the first 6 months for years and years and years. So you haven't been in ACN for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You've been in ACN for 6 months and you keep repeating your first 6 months over and over and over. And here's where it gets frustrating. You're spending the time, you're spending the energy, you're spending the money, you're going to the events, you're getting the things, you're doing the stuff, but you're in hearing mode. You're not in listening mode. And when you go from hearing mode to listening mode, and then you apply, watch this, you apply getting customers, which I covered 2 weeks ago, building teams, which I covered last week, promoting events, which is really promoting the people this week, and you do those 3 things, and you now become a great student to become a great teacher, guess what happens? You start to find your voice. And you become someone that people will be attracted to. And I mean attracted to vision-wise. I mean attracted to future-wise. I mean attracted to, let's go through the junkyard together. Because we're gonna go through the crap together. We're gonna go through people flaking on us. That's gonna happen. We're gonna go through people saying no to us that should be saying yes because we've given them money and helped them out 1,000,000 times. And I can't believe that you're not gonna be my customer when I moved your couch in 110-degree heat. And you want to do this to them. But you can't, because you got to act with class. So the danger here in ACN, please stop overthinking this business and understand we only do 3 things. We get some customers, we share the opportunity, we promote the events, and let the system go to work for you. Do it for a long enough period of time. You're going to pick up some great things. You're going to find your voice, which is going to become an example and proof for other people that your time was well spent and this works, and you start to become a different person in the process. And maybe that's something we'll talk about next week. That's what I got for you guys today.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Tarrolly. Look, guys, I don't know about you. I took so many notes. It's the last page of my notebook, my ACN notebook, last page. So thank you so much, Mr. Tarrolly. You're going to be on the last page. A couple of notes that I want to say over for everyone in case you missed it, because we were just so mesmerized by what he was saying. We only do 3 things. We get customers, we build teams, and we promote events that's really promoting people. Now, Kobe, never get bored of the basics. Master the basics, right? Master the mundane. And he talked about environment. He found himself not only wanting that environment, but defending it. How many of us would defend ACN like he did? How many of us would defend our leadership? How many of us would defend our environment? Because if you're not ready to defend it, guess what? You don't believe in it. And that hit right there. And then amateurs promote a business, professionals promote a person. Write that down, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Tarrolly. I have a couple more shout outs and regional directors on here.
And Natasha, let me tell you something. You just made me think of something really quick.
Yes.
So you guys, please, Natasha, you're awesome. Please do this. You guys, when I say defend this, let me make something clear. When I mean defend it, I don't mean become defensive and confrontational when people don't want to do it. That is not what I mean. That creates the thing that they're saying why they don't want to do it. What I want you to do is to operate with class. But what I'm saying internally, I would defend this business to anyone. Internally, I would let someone know. I'd say, listen, man, I got to tell you, I have some pretty solid proof on why I disagree with what you're saying. Why I don't think it's the thing that your brother tried to get you into. That's not this. Do you guys get the difference? Yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that you know,
thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
I don't want you guys to leave this call going, Dean, I want you to know I blasted my dad. Don't do that. That's not what we're talking. That's not what we're talking
Thank you
about.
for clarifying that, because that's probably how it came off, because I was so
No.
excited,
I want to make sure that I didn't say it incorrectly. So okay, go ahead.
No,
So back to you,
totally
Natasha.
fine. That was perfect, because I mean,
Right,
some
cool.
people would have gotten on the phone right after this and
Yeah. Don't do that.
said a couple words that they would have regretted tomorrow. So thank you.
Probably.
But guys, so that was amazing. Definitely, when this recording's available, we're sending it out to everyone. And a couple more shout outs for the regional directors. We got Miss Cindy Quezada out of Bakersfield that I love from afar. We haven't even met yet. Mr. Ryan Ruiz, we got Mr. Brian Baker. We have the Kings, Miss Evelyn Phipps, and we have Mr. Marvin Carter. We're full of regional directors today. And we have 2 regional vice presidents. Do you guys see this? Do you see this? Now, I have a couple announcements. Check this out. Today, for anyone that knows Senior Vice President, Mr. Byron Nelson, it is his birthday, but he has directions on his Facebook. Before reaching out to him, listen to that video. Tonight, we have a 6 p.m. presentation with the Kings right back on this number. And tomorrow morning, we have Senior Vice President, Mr. Byron Nelson, and Senior Vice President, Mr. Al Thomas, both together. And we have the flyers coming up right now. Tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., Al's happy hour. So everybody get their drinks, get your water, get your energy drink, whatever you want. And any promotions that you have for the team, please send them to Mr. Clemens no later than noon tomorrow, or they will not be shown on the screen. And we want to recognize everyone because we love everyone. So again, Mr. Dean Tarrolly, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Any last words in closing, sir?
You guys, that's it. Just operate with class. Operate the way you want to. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. And if you do that, I'm going to tell you guys, people may not get started with you now. They might, but I'll tell you this, you're consistent. You guys have heard me say this, your consistency in this business will build credibility, and a whole bunch of people are going to come back around because you said, and you did what you said you were going to do. And the world needs some of that right now. And just be willing to go through the process, good to great, great to excellent, excellent to proficient. And your voice is going to come out and you're going to make a difference for a lot of people. So that's it. Appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tarrolly. Can we all give him a virtual clap? Because we all know how to do that now. We know how to clap without making noise and make it look like we're clapping. So thank you so much, Mr. Dean Tarrolly. We will see you all tonight. Everyone have an amazing day, and let's get to work.
See you guys.